Chris called me up when I had twins and harassed me because I was having twins. He's like, ha, 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 ha. Shortly after that, he had triplets.
Karma, Chris, karma.
Yeah, come back and fit. So I call that his flaw. Good job. By the way, his kids are amazing. You know, Chris' family since I was 14 years old. Rock Porter has donated some of his services. He is an engineer with Civil Site Design Group. He actually created it. Yeah, and now his son Jake is one of the employees with him. Now Rob is really good.
Blessed.
Yeah, he's doing blessed. But Rob is graciously, and over the years, Rob has donated a lot of his time and never reduced it. So, not to mention his life, pretty much, he's been here the entire time, haven't you? He's 84 years old. He looks good.
Well preserved.
Yeah, very well preserved. Tina Hudson-Piller, who is the chairman of our Parks Board, and Tina, again, ballpark. Yeah, we've gone through the processes, all of us actually have gone through the, it's kind of funny, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
You know, that are here, they've been on the board of directors at the ballpark. So, kind of, yeah, where you start, and I guess this is where you end.
Oh, don't say that.
But Tina Hudson-Piller is on the Parks Board, and the chairman of the Parks Board, and so what I hope to do is if we go through this whole process, we put the ideas that we look for together, then we're gonna send it to the Parks Board. Now, the cool part about that, the Parks Board will then formulate those ideas, we can see what we can do with them, and then we'll send them over to the city commission, and we then will vote on those. But Chip Bailey, who is the president of TriStar Volleyball, my daughter is now playing volleyball. She never did that before. She's gracious enough and nice enough, and does an excellent job handling the volleyball stuff here. Of course, Justin Beasley is here. Justin is our communications director for the city of Mount Juliet, formerly from Channel 4 News. Yeah, then it was Channel 2 News. He was with CNN for a little while, the Communist News Network, and then
MSNBC.
yeah, MSNBC. And Miss Sherry Arnold, the gracious, wonderful owner of Third Coast Salt here on Mount Juliet Road in my district. All the cool stuff in my district. All right, so I'm gonna let the rest of y'all talk. Would you say something?
So what about Costco?
What about who? We went to Costco this morning. I have been harassed on Hit Mount Juliet for the last 10 years. When are we getting Costco? Why will you not build a Costco? First of all, City Manager, come do a Costco. All right. Second of all, we got a Costco, and if I go down there and there's some people that if I don't see them in the Costco, I'm driving the house and burning it down. So, you know, I'll put that. Introduce yourself, please.
Yes, my name is Rachel Crossland. Actually, I've been with Parks and Rec ever since I graduated from college, so well, for 8 years now. Started with Metro Parks, currently working for Williamson County Parks. Different departments, started in athletics, then I've moved to our programming and community activities, but kind of jack of all trades, and now I'm facilities, aquatics, some other things.
Yeah.
I don't work out at Longview, thankfully, because I'm here. I'm at the Owensville Center now, but it's worth it. Longview is nice. Yes, Longview is nice.
And I will tell you, she called and graciously donated her services. She's up here for no other reason than to make this better. It's been so involved in another location. So we're going to use you and view you. That's what we do.
I'll just say, I'll just ask why you're doing it. That's really, I feel like all I'm going to do is be like, why?
And
I'm Anne Marie Wheeler. I live in Willoughby Station. When the Willoughby Ways were started, I was one of the first people on board volunteering. Team rep, worked for the National Swim League. I'm on the HOA board in Willoughby, and I directly worked with our pool company for many years.
oh, okay. So it's more. I love it.
Yeah, I'm Keith Canfield. I'm a Tennessee native, but I did spend about 10 years outside the state. And, you know, I feel your pain. During those 10 years, I was the chairman of the Parks Commission in Little Rock, Arkansas. So I I'm really 25, and that's where all this right here came from.
You know, when you got a great parks director, my job is DC.
I'll get you $20 to your.
But I live over on Clearview.
You guys want Clearview? Okay. So Scott is.
Yep.
Going, okay. Very good. All right. And I'll go ahead. Ivan here is with Wilson Post, and he's here to keep us honest and report all the wonderful things that we're going to talk about today, and make sure that everybody out there knows how great it is, right? Yeah, how big the pool is, not in meters, by the way. We don't talk.
No, we don't do meters.
Not the other part of the house. I'm gonna tell you a little bit of what got all this started. Many years ago, back in 1999, actually, we had the first elected mayor, his name was David Wayne. And David, a good friend of mine, he came to me, he said, I want to go to the community center. Okay. He said, I want you on the parks board. I said, okay. He said, I got to go picture. Am I okay? We're getting one of those. I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, I want to do it. Turns out I did the exact same thing that I'm doing here. I created a research and development team to do nothing but figure out what other people are doing, what programs everybody wants to see in our park system, and then come in with a report that we can put together and take to the parks board. So I was chairman of the parks and the research and development thing, and then I'm also chairman of the parks board. So once we got all this stuff together, we brought it all and put the ideas together. We had a group called Parks, which is the Parks and Recreation Technical Advisory Service, the University of Tennessee. We have the MTAS, which is the Municipal Technical Advisory Service, and that's through the University of Tennessee. And Parks was for Parks and Recreation, same thing. So they came in, we did the study. The end result was we built the community center that you can see down there now, Charlie Williams Park. We wound up building Charlie Williams Park as you see it, because before, like people tell you, it was a softball. It was a softball field, and we had a football field. History, a little history on the park system there is that those two football fields belong to the Piper, or not Piper, but Mountain
Youth football.
Yeah. And so they actually owned the entire park at one time. And so they gave up all that you see except for the two fields down by the creek. And so we used everything that you see that's being used now, except for those two fields. Well, as they grew in their program, it went on to get to the point where we could not maneuver in the park. It got that bad because there were so many kids involved in that program. The softball program wasn't doing what it needed to be doing in Monkey Park, so we took that, gave it basically, gave use of it to them forever for their football program, and then we took over the parks, and that's what we have now. Unfortunately, that was when we had 25,000 people. Now we've got James Mann, our mayor, just showed up. James, hello. And we've got, is it 44,000?
40,000.
40,300, more than 25,000. What? You got that look on your face like you're fixing to do something.
I don't know if you want to ask me.
No.
I think that's good.
So, anyway, we've got to do it. We've got to do it big. And we had a lot of interest over the years in the pool. A lot of interest in the pool. We had a lot of interest in the community center, or recreation center, that was bigger than what we've got, because, like you can tell you, we got it right. So, that's why you're here. The people here have been picked by me or James or somebody, Rocky, and we decided that y'all are the ones we wanted here to help us with all of this. So, what we're going to do, now we don't each other know who we are. We're going to take and I'm going to start getting some ideas from you guys about the programs. We're going to formulate those. Next Thursday night, we're going to have another meeting over here at April Mill. And we're inviting the public to get involved, tell us what they want to see. And we're going to figure out what the cost associated with that is, or we have no budget. We can't do anything out here without all the budget. And then, once we do that, we'll put all that together with the Parks Board.
You want us to come to that thing? Do you want to stay?
Absolutely.
What time is it?
6:30, isn't it?
6 to 7:30. 6 to 7:30.
What day is that, Ray?
Next Thursday.
Ray Sam Anderson is shut. He's always late.
Yeah, by the way, the other gentleman, I recruited, who is also known a portion of his services, is Sam Anderson. He's one of our local architects. He's been here for many, many years and been a huge investment in our community as well. So he was willing to come on board and help us and get this done. So, tell you where we're coming at it from budget wise. I will tell you that many years ago, back in 2007, we amended the ordinance for the hotel motel tax, and that ordinance was, it was that the hotel motel tax, we amended it so that all hotel motel tax would go into the capital improvements projects for the lost recreation. Where it came from was that we didn't have any kind of money in the treasury, and also during the last thing, it was sitting money. So we thought, okay, we'll just go ahead or designate the money. At that time, it was $150,000. Getting paid. Today, it's about $1.5 million. I would love to tell you that we were so forward-sighted and wonderful. Days were the days. It just pure love. It was not anything we anticipated it was going to be this kind of money. But, so we've gone at this a little bit backwards, rather than going in here and saying, okay, we want to spend $30 million. We're not doing that. We figured out what we could spend, right? Rocky's getting some numbers up in Parks for capital improvements. We're going to take $1 million, and we know that $1 million comes in every year, maybe longer. You know, how much money will let it cost us? How much money will that get us? We figured it up, Dana put the numbers on it, up to about $14 million. So that is initially what we got to work with, and then James Manson decides, he's great that he's going to sponsor, give us another $5 million or something, you know. He's sitting around the room like that, or something. But that's where we're at initially. So what we're going to try and do is we're going to go in and try to figure out what we can do with $14 million to see if that happens. And that way we know, I'm a big believer in knowing things, you know, in a person that can look for. All right, we want to come to the hall and start scaling back this one. So, your first name again? And I will forget your name, by the way.
Rachel.
That's okay.
Rachel, right?
Yes, sir.
I remember.
What's your last name?
Frosted?
So, do me a favor, tell me, your experience is right now, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
What is the most used part of the process you can work with?
Depends on what time of the year you want it. I would definitely, you know,
Is there a pool in there?
yeah, there's been a pool at every location we have. Our 5 main facilities, yes, all have pools. Our 3 of our 5 have indoor pools. So it just kind of really depends on where you want to start and you can go from there. I think the biggest thing that we've noticed is having to go back and fix things that we thought we could get by with, and then you have to go back and try to find a way to fix it in the long run because it just hasn't come up. That's been the biggest issue. Ventilation system in the indoor pools, that's been one of the biggest ones. The chlorine rises and it comes off the surface of the water, so we've had to go back through, try to find capital improvement money to put the ventilation system under the deck to pull the fumes out. There's all kinds of things.
We recently went to Mason. And they got this big, huge facility up there. Built for that. Took us up there, it's where he had the reason where he came from. One of the things I noticed in that pool area was the chlorine, and there was maybe there was several of our bodies of water on
Yeah,
it.
that's not.
It was just that thick in there.
That was one of those biggest complaints that we got, because Williamson County, right now, it's a contract, well, it's a continual contract, every year they do with Excel. So, you know, I'm sure Excel's Well, I mean, if we're talking about it, I'm surprised you haven't got an email yet, is what I was saying.
No, we haven't,
Okay, expect an email from Excel.
okay.
They kind of endow themselves into almost any facility that serves a larger community with a pool. Gallatin Parks and Rec, they have the same thing with Excel. They basically take over our pool right now every morning, indoor and outdoor. We allow them 2 hours before the community can even begin, based on what they pay contract-wise for their teams, swim practice.
Okay.
And so our ISC serves them primarily with a large contract. That was it. But it's just one of those,
One of the things I've learned in looking back through all this is the Wilson County school system does not have any kind of aquatic system. They have a
Well,
club.
no, Julian. Yeah, they're plus because they don't have a teacher.
CWSAA doesn't
Correct.
sponsor.
That is correct. They're just
So
clubs.
I didn't realize that. So it's actually a club, but they just one of the schools.
Yeah.
So
a lot of the kids, go to Excel. That's like
They do.
Excel is, so they're.
that's the, monopoly in middle school.
Yeah.
Well, what I want to do here is I want to put some of our thoughts up here on this board. Now, one of the things that Justin, when we looked at the whole different community center back many years ago, didn't document anything, other than the plans and things of that nature, that it didn't document the process. Well, I want to document that process. And that's one of the reasons I'm glad you're here, because you're going to help us document that process. If the other newspapers had been here, they'd have the same opportunity.
Ray, can I ask you a question?
Yes, sir.
Just a little bit off the topic. but
Go ahead.
I've wondered about this for a long time. When and if we do this, is it gonna be a venture where that new facility is expected to make money? Or are you gonna have to get Excel to put tournaments on, to get volleyball tournaments? If you got all those basketball courts, are you gonna have tournaments on weekends, or is it just for providing a, because I don't think Jimmy Floyd does that, do they? I think they charge a little bit to get in.
There
It's mainly for the city residents.
And Rocky has talked about that, we were talking to Linda about the, with membership fees. There'll be membership fees, but when we did this community center, many years ago, one of the things that hit on our wall, and be revenue neutral, well, they lost their money. It ain't ever gonna be revenue neutral, that doesn't exist.
But it is a possibility. Jimmy Floyd is thinking they will be revenue neutral in the next 2 years, did you say? He's winded up about $100,000 to $200,000 in the hole right now, but he says it's a possibility that they could be revenue neutral.
So the city has to subsidize that then,
Yes.
if they are.
It's operational. Now, I don't know if they have subsidies there, but a lot of that depends on what these two guys come up with, because, what one bill, how much it's gonna cost, how much money we got to control it.
No pressure.
And Ray, we went to Longview, I think Longview, yesterday in Spring Hill. It's kind of the footprint, what we're looking for. We went to Mason, that was out of our range. Longview's got the 2 basketball courts outside, the 6 pickleball courts,
I will give you a lot of
and they've got 2
why.
football, pools out there, and it looked, that's the footprint we're looking for.
Yes.
Is there exceptions there that we,
I mean, not exceptions, just like little things that I don't think we necessarily thought of when building it. Like once you're there, once you're like, it would have been nice if, or like, different things like that. I think one of the biggest things is what kind of, the building that you're envisioning, what kind of programming do you want? How, is there gonna be a group fitness room? Are you gonna?
That's actually one of the things I'm looking for out of this group, that's come up with those programs, and say, okay, what can we provide, and what can we not? What's gonna be limited, what's gonna be a priority? Because we turn around and say, we're gonna do a pickleball, I'm just using that.
Yeah.
All right, what's the cost? Maybe zero, I don't know.
Yeah.
But,
I
all
would
right.
say there's only 2 programmable rooms out of Longview that we can use. So right now, we're having programmable, so,
General purpose, like,
yes, yeah.
not like this.
So, we've got all of these, summer camps that come through, but then even throughout the year, we've got programs, we have a full-blown sewing program. There's like endless amounts of,
Did you say sewing?
Sewing,
So wait,
youth sewing.
mhm.
And
Oh,
they bring in
buku.
Well, see, I thought it was a rec center.
And it's run by a vendor. It's run by a vendor. I don't disagree. I don't know anything about selling, but yeah, it's.
See, this rec center here, though, I don't think we have to really go for it, because we got our existing community center where we can hold our rec stuff. What we need here, the surveys are asking us right now, what the population needs, is we need a pool and we need more basketball courts. Those are the two needs we got to meet on this building.
Which
We need
transfer over to
pickleball courts
volleyball.
outside.
Well, that's going to transfer over to volleyball and pickleball.
Oh, yeah, all of them. Those are multi-use basketball courts.
All right, we have all the tools indoors.
And whatever you put in the basketball gym, please make the storage big enough to hold your volleyball, your pickleball. net.
Yes, good story.
Without having to break it all down or having to reset, like, I cannot stress that
Sam,
enough.
Sam Robert taking notes right
If you don't think you have enough space, just a
There's
little
never
bit.
enough store space.
Mm.
Never. And they're, Longview, I love the way they set up the parquet floors they had there in the basketball. Now, that's what I was gonna ask someone, if y'all refinish that, it's a
We do it
16-year-old
every
building,
year. Every year we
but
redo
the
it.
parquet's the original parquet?
I don't know if it's the original, but I know every year they come in and they refinish, we refinish the hardwood floors in all of our dance studios and all of our basketball.
They're beautiful.
Looks like a mirror, to see yourself in.
Every year, yeah. They get
And
refinished.
I love the swimming pools are not extravagant, they're not gigantic, but they're perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're the perfect size, they're like 25-yard pools and indoors for, and I love what y'all did there. I mean, we've been seeing like you before, the big extravagant giant pool outside. I like the ones like, I mean, you need to go look at Longview, I'll tell you, it's a good, gives us a good idea of what we want to do. Okay,
You know, most of the people that I'm.
no, we haven't,
I
we're gonna ask, I think that's what ask Franklin or the base.
I've known Rachel forever. My daughter and her best friend growing up, but I came in late and I apologize. Are you with Williamson County? Okay, I figured it out.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure. Okay. Thanks, Rachel.
Yeah, we're gonna steal. We're going on maternity leave,
Yeah.
so.
I'm seeing some recruiting maybe happening in the very near future.
That's awesome.
But I will tell you, guys, y'all are in here because everyone of you are in the community, and everyone of you got something that you like about this Parks and Recreation, about that idea, maybe it's just back you love now too, and that's great. So I want to hear from every single one of you. We got stuff up there on that board, pickleball, basketball,
I can't see
pools.
it. You never know.
You can't see them?
Oh, I have to lay down to see it.
Good Lord.
Ray, can you tell us where the land is and how much acreage?
There is, well,
Thank
that
you,
depends
sir.
on who you're talking to, but we've got 10 acres.
I don't know.
We started at 10 acres. Is that too close?
That's perfect.
Okay, thank you.
10 acres, and where is it?
But when we talk about that, it's 10 acres, but then I've got 14 acres. And then we've got 10 acres that belongs to Public Works. And so that Public Works land over there, if we needed 2 or 3 more acres there, we could use that as well, according to what Kenny and some of the guys have us.
So is that
10 to
14?
20.
So we're talking about 14 acres that we know of.
14
Yes.
minimum?
Yes,
And where is it?
it's on Plymouth Road,
Next to Public Works.
yeah,
Across from.
right
Ethan
across
Page
from the,
Park.
go up.
Ethan Page Park.
Across from the new gymnasium.
Yeah, the gymnastic place.
What is the elite?
I
Yeah.
think it's elite gymnastics.
Yeah.
Who's parking all the red cars over there? Who's doing it?
That's coming from the fire department when they were doing their extrication.
Training? Are those training cars?
Yeah, they did a big public extrication thing, where they were pulling people out of cars, right? And left cars.
Yeah, they did.
They'll be moving.
They're like rabbits. They just-
That conversation started with half Kenny, so he.
Can I ask a pool question before we move off the pools?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any saltwater pools? Okay, because saltwater pools, I don't have a dog in the fight, but from what I understand, are a lot less maintenance, a lot less chlorine, less ventilation.
It can be, but then you run into the, when some of our younger.
Oh, and where's this going?
Have accidents, it's definitely much harder to.
Clean saltwater, dump saltwater, clean it, and it's not more costly. If you have a baby room come floating up,
Yeah, not even a baby room, but like
Like
a.
wet spot,
I don't think, I don't think there are many.
and that's what we run into the splash pad, just let it drop the tank. 1,500 gallons, you bring it back up.
We do.
And it's continuous, little bits of drop them on you, continuously. Right, right.
There you go.
They won't wear the pin.
So yes, in that short instant, definitely, but when you're.
Oh, that
A
is.
majority of like what I'm right now.
Because that goes away. The fumes, the
How many square feet is Long Beach?
all of that.
What?
How many square feet
We're not supposed to do that.
building?
It'd be,
It is big.
I mean, it's a lot bigger than probably what we want. They've got a exercise room in there that looks like Planet Fitness.
well, they got a daycare. game
Well, and I will
room.
tell you, because when we can talk about this, you know, and put it on the list of things to talk about, but one of the things I want to make sure that we don't do as a city, my personal preference, I do not want to be in competition with anybody that's in business here,
Right.
providing workout equipment and facilities. I don't want to be in
Oh, there's
competition.
a right,
with
Planet Fitness.
Oh, yeah.
To me, that would be like going into business against Houston. I mean, that's.
I will say though, if you don't put that in there, you're gonna get asked why.
Why?
And I will gladly answer that question. I'm the elected guy, I have no problem saying, I'm not gonna be in competition with private enterprise as a city.
They're gonna say,
Well, there's a creative way to add fitness in there. You can have a beautiful walking course, whether it be indoor or outdoor.
Walking.
Yeah, and then say if it's outdoors, which, you know, the majority of Tennessee weather is beautiful to me. You could have workout locations outdoors around the walking facility.
The walking track that we talked about is a mezzanine style walking track, and it's in that photo.
They've got one.
Like Jimmy Floyd.
Yes.
The Longview has that too.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's, we were talking about doing that, putting the walking track, but then it needs to be in the mezzanine.
But if you do give an option of an outdoor walking, you
There's gonna
can
be
have
that
workout.
also. We have to do that. Yeah. You're talking about like a walking trail?
Well, I mean,
The
I've
workout
gone
stations.
to communities
The
where
stations.
they've had very long walking, outdoor walking facilities or paths. But along the way, there's workout points
Like
throughout
parkours,
your walk.
what they
So
call
you
parkour.
could incorporate.
Stay
John
stations.
Fox has
Yeah.
some,
Stations.
the workout stations, at John Fox. has one. Yeah. they got-
It's outdated, but it's the
Yeah.
same, yeah.
Mhm.
Don't we have one at Charlie Daniels?
Yeah, we got, it's
There's one
not,
in Robinson Park, don't they? They have some.
just small ones, yeah. Basically, we got them in Longview, it's our Daniels and.
They're really big in beaches too. If y'all ever noticed when you go to the beach, they have those
Yeah.
fitness points throughout your walk.
Volleyball too, right?
Gotta write that up there.
Don't do that. All right. Chip's gonna have to fit over here. We can't believe that far down the list.
It's already been mentioned.
Yeah, you got basketball, you got volleyball. To me, it's.
I don't think.
Yeah,
that-
but
Oh, yeah.
I had no idea.
Maybe, but a
Until I
dedicated
started playing.
volleyball space.
I didn't know it had much depth.
because
I
that's
don't
on
think
the
we
court.
have enough
And
soccer
if you don't
fields.
state it, then it's just the redheaded stepchild that never gets.
I've got a,
And you get all the lines painted on the court, and you don't know what line you're looking at, so.
It's
I will tell you, I've had several people that have asked me, what about the soccer? fields? And I will tell you that for us to provide soccer fields would have become completely against everything that we had ever done with baseball and football. With the football program, the baseball program, the youth sports has always been private, not associated with the city. And then over the years, we put in $25 per child towards it. So where they were getting $10,000 to $15,000 a year back when it became softball on board, we're getting $60,000 to $70,000 a year now towards the program. They've got a $515,000 budget. So the amount of money that we're putting back into the little program or the baseball program now is considerably more. I'm also, this is working separate, but I'm also working on something with them to take and create with the ballpark, Rocky and I've been talking to. The driving track around the ballpark, what we're gonna try and do is we're trying to get them to donate that to the city of Nigeria so that we can parade it up, clean it up. We can get grants through TDA and other places to fix that. And then let them run the program in the fields. You know, to do this public-private partnership. So, but when the sports started, the soccer guys came to me and asked me, I said, we can't do it. I mean, football is private, you know, basketball is private, volleyball is private. And so we can't then turn around though and do something like that for soccer, that sanctioned program for everybody else. So that's the reason
Back on what Chris said about tournaments,
Tournaments, yes.
if we can have tournaments and put people in our hotels and motels,
Yeah.
that's how we pay for our center,
More money,
more money for our center. So
yes.
I don't know why we wouldn't close the door on tournaments per se.
I don't think anybody's talking about closing the door.
Well, I know, we were just talking about a membership.
Oh,
These
yes,
people
yeah.
are gonna come play on these members.
There's, same,
Well, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I was gonna say, we actually input the design in 3D. I don't know if it's worth looking at what we've got right at the moment, but I think that when you talk about pools, I think that's one of the huge issues that needs to be figured out, because I've got a guy in my office who has a daughter on a swim team. We've talked about this.
Right.
And he wants to see an Olympic-sized pool in there with two separate sides that can run two meets and everything, and like water aerobics in the middle. I don't
like what
know.
you showed us in.
Yeah, but you know, if you're gonna do a 25-yard pool that's got 6 lanes in it, which is what Jimmy Floyd has, and I've done a drawing that showed the size of Jimmy Floyd versus our facility. It's not as big as Jimmy Floyd. We don't have all the meeting rooms and all the other stuff they have. But I don't know if it's worth looking at, but it, you know, kind of maybe cut down on some conversation about, you know, this, that, and the other thing. This is what we already have, you know, on the paper right now. That, you know, I'm worried about the budget, of course. You know, we can talk about all this, but it almost might be of some value at some point to get a contractor to look at kind of what we came up with initially.
That's the reason Steve Robinson.
Yeah.
Yeah, with, Andy Phil.
Yeah, Robinson, Steve Robinson, yeah, you know, because you can talk about all that, you know, it's good to talk about it, but at the end of the day, the last thing the architect wants to do is go back and cut everything out that we couldn't afford, you know.
So do we have, Ron, you and I talked about a number per square foot, remember what it was?
200.
Approximately
I
200.
think that's what somebody threw out.
I think it was Steve actually did that.
But not all the yeah, that's the building itself, that's not all the specialties. I think we have to purchase.
So approximately $200 per square foot, that's about 50,000 square foot, $10 million. So then you got another,
Is that just for the building or site?
that's the bill. Site cost is zero. We've got that confirmed. We don't have to worry about the site cost because the site cost is being handled by Public Works since they've got the property and they're doing all the masquerade and everything over there. They,
That doesn't include parking and doesn't include, you know, for instance, y'all pay for the pickleball and tennis y'all built in Providence recently, y'all spent $2 million on a facility smaller than what you're looking at here, so you're figuring, you know, $2.5 million, your parking lot's probably gonna cost $2 million, so $2 million yourself to death. So I'm just saying, Sam's right, you have to pay attention to your budget on the front end, so you know, spend a lot of time, unless you plan on doing it in phases.
I'm gonna give you an example, David, put me into that next clear. I'm sure exactly what I was doing. All I knew was the change orders are bad. And so Alexander Shanklin, I hate that. He was saying, I want to do a change order, and I'm like, oh, don't, we can't do that. Wound up with a budget built that entire community center, $848,000. Now, we had $749,000, and I went to the county and begged, Mark Desmond, and those guys up there, and they gave me another $100,000 from the county against it, all of us.
Show us what he's got.
You got it with us?
Yeah, that's good. We were busting our tails, that's why I'm late here.
Bless your heart.
Well, I've got an intern who's really pretty talented, she's able to get some of the stuff in there, but,
I look pretty good.
it's kind of hard, some of it's kind of hard to understand, but I thought we might jump to the 3D drawings, but, sorry about all of that. So, okay. So, can I flip this up?
Yes, sir.
Oh,
Hold on. Hold on.
You're fine.
We'll take it off.
We'll do that last.
We'll take it.
Well,
Anyways, real simple, we color coded it for your minds here. Blue roof is the pool area, Olympic sized pool under here. This is a future outdoor pool and outdoor deck, so we're trying to phase it in and make it sense. Do you have this? You don't have to say. Yeah.
I have said,
Okay.
I'll let myself.
Then this is the basketball portion of the project right here. This is future expansion of the basketball. So we got it kind of broken down. The middle part is the covered entry. There's a, let's see, get another view, like a portico share here, the entry to it. And who's the gentleman with Commissioner Trivet? Trivet. We didn't want to do a flat roof in between these two buildings, but I'm proposing a flat roof with parapets around it, put the mechanical units there. And then we got another storage building out here for the pool that could have mechanical units on it as well, shielded by the parapet, feeding air into the building here. So real simple, but I wanted to show you, we've got a couple renderings of the interior of it.
This is with one gym, correct?
It's got one.
One gym, but several courts within it.
Oh, I see.
So the basketball floor here is a 94 foot, it's at least 84. Which 84 is high school, 94 what pro and college. So I think it's 90.
Mount Juliet High Schools are.
94. So we got a 94 foot court here that allows for 2 volleyballs, right, going sideways, and X number of pickleball. We drew it out. I've got it on one of my other drawings here that I can show you. There's a running track going around the basketball area there. With these windows are on the north side, so you're never going to get eye-piercing direct sunlight blazing in here. Going back to this real quick, just some of the highlights of what we got going on here. This is a high side of the swimming pool. So this is facing north. So these clear story windows in the swimming pool area also won't get blazing sunlight coming in there. There's the basketball thing here. So there's a section. Let's see if we can show you the section. I want to show a section through the pool. Okay, here we go. The pool has a high side, so this is the north side looking towards, whatever's that direction, fire hall.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so you have bleacher seating on a lower level looking at the pool. You have an elevated level up here with more bleacher seating. So this is section, you see the seating rows here and here. Here's your pool looking down. The other side does not have any seating. It's either swim coaches yelling at people, whatever. The people are pretty much idea to keep them on one side. If you go, we try to do seating. I just think the building gets really big, and we're just saying if this would work, for everybody, what we're trying to do. But with an Olympic-sized pool, you should be able to handle tournaments. Who was talking about tournaments? And this is what my guy in my office, Stephen Hall, he's into swimming. He goes all over the place, looks at all these pools, and we worked on it together. What I was trying to see. Now, this is kind of a hard to read on. So we just got this done today. I think she started on it this morning, but there's an Olympic sized pool here, and I have a drawing how that breaks down. But, yeah, let me just scribble on here. So this would be one pool here, and that could hold a beat. There's lanes going this way, right? There's another pool here with lanes going here. This middle zone here, we're proposing to make it like 4 feet deep. So you can do water aerobics. She didn't get involved in, but we have a little entry stair here, and you can do water aerobics. These are bulkheads that separate the 6 foot deep pool from the 6, and then the full 50-meter course goes 9 lanes this way. So the thinking is, you're gonna have to at some point pretty quickly on the process, do you want a huge pool that can handle all the area high school clubs and whatever else you got going on? Or are you gonna go with a 25, I don't know what this is, a 25 pool. If you end up with a pool like this, and that's Jimmy Floyd, inside pool.
The inside.
Jimmy Floyd outside pool is this right here, the big, it's huge, yeah. So this is the basketball
Well, that
pool.
smaller one, that's what Willoughby has. You need something bigger than that.
Do you have involvement with swimming? 'Cause
I
you-
was,
Yeah,
I was.
you know what this is like, yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
so I've been to sports friends
So-
for years.
What, the worst thing I think you can have happen, in my opinion, is to build it and then have everybody come out of the woodwork complaining it's not big enough. So I don't know, I'm thinking you're gonna build a pool,
I've been listening to people gripe about Costco for 10 years. I ain't worried about
and I'm not gonna bring up, the rivalry between not doing Lebanon, but let's beat Lebanon. The indoor pool, right? Okay, they got us beat on that. So here's the basketball court, the big court goes that way. You have practice courts, going this way. And then how do I forget, I got a drawing that we show, I think we have 4 pickleball courts can fit in here. Three, okay.
How many volleyball?
I think 2 going this way.
Volleyball court is 30 by 60.
We have them drawn on, I drew it out.
2 on each basketball court.
But we have 4 basketball.
No, he only got, the
We only
first
put
phase,
2 in.
the first phase was 2.
Right.
Yeah, here's the other ones. So up above this, let me see if this is a drawing right. Yeah. Okay, so this is the upper level. The pool's down here. There's the upper level seating. Mechanical unit sitting out here, there. I told you to put these on there, shouldn't you?
Slave driver.
I had, she was about ready to. So I don't know, I think we may have had, I don't know if we had extra seating or what, but anyways, you're tooling around up here, and there may have been some sort of, maybe some seating. That's the upper level of basketball.
So how many square feet we talking about?
That's a walking track.
Yeah.
I do have that information.
You know, this may be a dumb question. Well, it's gonna be a dumb question, but I'm gonna go down to it. Okay, we're building this big old pool for all these teams. Well, what about the general public? They're not gonna be able to swim in this?
No, that's what it's actually.
That's the water aerobics.
No, I'm talking about Johnny who's gonna swim in this water on Saturday.
90%. But it can allow.
It's just gonna be for competition, but it's gonna be for, it's kind of like ballpark, if you think about it. What is it? It's 20% tournament, 80% rating, right? This is probably gonna be about the same.
We need to be open to tournaments.
Oh, we open
They
for
are
it, but not
exclusive.
exclusive. We're not saying we're, this is happening in the Little League part, you're thinking about it numerous times. Hang on a second, everybody. Looking around. So part of the problem that we've got at the ballpark, at Little League, is that we've got a bunch of people that come in, they put their heart and soul into their kids playing tournament ball. Well, that's about 15% of the population is playing tournament ball, then you got another 85% that they're just recreational ball players, they're out there for a social event, they're not out there because they're gonna be going to the
We
play
could
for the
have
break.
handicap entrance.
And you've got to take care of those,
That's
people who take care of
right.
the tournament. That's where you get into the,
That's right.
you know, you gotta find that mix and that balance.
Yes.
That's where Rocky
This
is.
is much like.
So how deep is this pool?
If you could say 1 weekend about this tournament.
I know, yeah.
Maybe they'll do more than that, but.
Or whatever.
Yeah,
I'm not
exactly.
saying
Right.
build a fence around it and say that's tournament.
Right.
That's how we generate our revenue. And that's what keeps membership fees from being $600.
And it fills up our hotels for
And it's
hotel
one
rooms.
weekend. You know?
Same with the football tournament.
Oh, that's-
Yeah, I got-
No.
Well, shit, we-
There's right volleyball on here. It's not
Do what?
gonna happen. Everything's football and basketball. We gotta start putting volleyball on the front of our line.
Yeah, there's an entrance.
I
Okay.
had your back, man.
I'm just
It's
saying,
not part of the,
my program is
unfortunately
big
not.
in the
City beat.
middle school. and
They
high school.
go there now, I don't know when they stop going.
So we've been in business 2 years. and
Okay, I've never been there.
Has everybody got a copy of,
It's readable or something.
has everybody got a copy of the layout that Rob's got?
I'll pass it around. I thought
I
it was show and tell.
Hey, Sam, do you have an elevator in this building?
We.
Did you, you got one?
Yeah, ADA, where is it?
How
come you didn't get it in?
We don't need an elevator.
Oh, okay.
Sure.
ADA.
We
We gotta have an elevator. We gotta be ADA compliant, get your water.
Well, it'd be in the middle here, so
That should be, we gotta get it, if you go up there on wheelchair, we gotta get that.
yeah. So,
There's a point.
Ray, I got a question about and Sam, about the pool in general. So you're going with Olympic pool It's got traditional sides, there's no zero entry, there's no, handicap ramp built in.
No, but the thing, and I don't know if I've ever seen this before, we were thinking about this. These bulkheads, you'll see them move around in pools, but usually it's all one pool level. So sometimes you'll see 4 foot of pool here, you can't use that for diving in and competitive. Thank you. It's gotta be like 2 meters, which is more than 6 feet deep. You're not saying that, I could barely do, water aerobics and that, but, so what I'm thinking is you move the bulk, the 50-meter meet, the bulkheads, this one's moved there, this one's moved here, now you got a 50-meter pool. And they can adjust it because, you got these timers and all this stuff, it has to be exactly 50 meters. But then when they're not using it, they move it here, and then the high schools can swim this way. And then I'm proposing to raise the middle part of the pool up to 4 feet. I don't know if that's been done before, like you're swimming in deep water and then all of a sudden it rises up. What now?
I don't know that.
I don't either, but why not?
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. Why couldn't? Because I'm trying to kill as many birds.
That's why we never we touched about anyway.
And nobody's diving.
No.
Should be diving competitively off of racing blocks into this area. I mean, there's just no race that would be run here. So that's our water aerobic. And we had a little black and white drawing. There's stairs going down into the handicap lane, putting somebody in there. So that was my thought.
Could you make one end of the water aerobics zero entry?
I don't think so. Not with what we're doing. Yeah, I think that's the outdoor pool. Because I just
It's
noticed
phase
the Spring Hill one, that's beautiful, has zero entry, of course, and then it goes into the competitive swimming pool as you go down to deeper water. Anyways, that's my 2 cents.
Thank you.
Thank
Can I
you.
comment?
Yes,
I have
You gotta come in
participated,
the front.
ma'am.
I have participated in water aerobics and I walk in the mornings with the ladies those pretty much 6 days a week. And you really want different depths for different swim abilities for people with water aerobics. Like I swim, when I do water aerobics, I'm in the 10 to 12 foot. You gotta keep moving to stay alive. But someone that is 90, and it's very common for 90-year-old people to be doing water aerobics, they might be where they can touch. Or they want their shoulders in the water because it helps with the arthritis.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
thinking that.
So-
My past life, I was the lifestyle director at Dale Webb, and water aerobics is huge. They call
Yes.
themselves the water bugs. I mean, it was like war. They loved the pool. And so I'm having flashbacks, all these discussions over who gets the pool at what time and who gets to swim and the hours. We would have to break it into what goes on at what time, what's open game for family. But, and
You know how
these
deep-
events.
How deep it was? How deep the water aerobics pool was? How deep?
It was the regular pool, but they were in the middle.
Yeah, the Donaldson Y, they use the whole depth of the indoor and outdoor pool.
Pulte has mastered the whole lifestyle concept when it comes to indoor swimming.
Unless, yeah.
Yes, for Del Webb.
People are always looking.
With the times of use, you're gonna have an aid with school, right? Because from 8 to 3:30, it's adult hours. These kids are in school, unless I have. So that's helpful.
Except for summer.
Right now, y'all see, we have pickleball, basketball, pools indoor, no softball, by the way. Walking track inside, walking trails on site with workout stations. And, right now, is that, the on-site workout stations, is that something that you want to do or want to like?
Yeah, we would probably put them on the walk, we've got them on all of our walking trails now, in 3 different parks. We have on-site walking, on-site workout station.
Yeah, quite a bit.
They provide. They're stationary sites is what they are.
Then, of course, we got volleyball. So anyway, other programs, things that you'd like to see that we can use the grounds for. You've seen the layout, you see our parking is what it is. And we've got
If we're just brainstorming,
brainstorm,
I would love to see a theater of some sort.
Amphitheater or indoor?
Either, a theater in the round or an outdoor amphitheater of some sort. It seems like we're hungry for the arts as
Yeah.
well. So whether it be a, art room for people to go take painting lessons, canvases, but also just think of the other creative side. It doesn't all have to be the athletics, possibly. It could be
Yes, that's great.
the culture of, yeah.
Which our community activities division, outside of tennis, our indoor tennis courts, is, I would use that lightly there, are the two programs within Williamson County Parks that actually bring in revenue, and we don't just bring
On which one?
tennis,
Okay.
obviously, and then, the
Bring
community
what courts?
activities. Yes, yeah, and then the community activities, so the division I'm in, where we have a coordinator for all our art classes across the county, recreation programs from cooking, sewing, taekwondo, engineering, Lego, it's everything.
Did you say Lego?
Yes.
Lego.
Yeah, we got that.
Where you
too.
at?
Shannon, I just talked to Shannon today, she was at my building today.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
do Lego also.
Yeah, and dance classes, I co-run our dance program. But essentially just like multi-purpose programmable rooms is, whatever you put, you can use it to, transform it from art to a sewing class to, just like being very open about what you might not think you'll ever put in that space and like making sure that,
Playing card games.
Club meetings.
Puzzles,
Yeah.
yeah, you've got to think of every age group
Yeah.
and how we could touch every particular
And
hobby.
we have like knitting right now. You got like quilting.
so the rooms that we have, they're multi-purpose rooms. and
But
it's not
realistically,
the best.
With the budget we got, the pool and the basketball courts will be like we
You're
got.
like painting?
That's all we'll
Yes.
do.
Okay.
You know,
I like that.
we'll keep them-
What I wanted to see,
Yeah.
the opportunities that we got, I mean, for instance, we say civil site design group said, you know what, I'm gonna do that one.
Right.
Just use that 100,000.
I'll be looking at mine.
I don't know why he's shaking his head. We'll use that 100,000 maybe to build his pickleball.
Right.
Go out here and get Under Armour to sponsor another portion.
Or Costco.
But Rocky, that
Costco should be, giving us lots of money.
Exactly.
that million a year, is that just debt service or is that debt service and any?
That is debt service
Debt
and,
service.
And any deficit that it runs?
we're not gonna run deficit, I mean, because the idea is at $14 million, we'll spend $14 million, not 14 million in one.
No, I'm sorry, I mean the annual operating costs.
Annual operating costs will come out of the general
Somebody off
fund
the building.
operations.
One of the things that when we're talking about pools and outdoor, I understand that might be a phase two. But one of the things that I've seen a lot of centers like this do now is what I call the adult version of a splash pad, and it's the lazy river.
Oh my gosh, I didn't.
There was one of those in Mason, Ohio, and it looked really cool.
I mean, that's, if you're too old for the splash pad, even I keep going out there, that's
Can it
probably.
be adult only?
Uh,
Absolutely.
But
The other thing is rock
They told me
wall.
I couldn't wear diapers. So,
We would love to have a climbing wall.
Oh, people love that, yeah.
That's great.
Just take up a lot of space.
You're not taking no space.
Go straight up.
You're on vertical with some spongy
Lazy
floors
river.
and some slip on.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are.
Oh, yeah.
There's sliding guns all over there.
Yeah, we used to have that years ago.
It kept saying that.
Climbing walls.
You can do that in pretty small areas.
the other similar one, right, would be
Could there be a commercial kitchen of some sort?
We do have a kitchen in there. I mean, it's a catering kitchen, right? Isn't that what we said?
Yeah.
The idea is they don't want to have a concession. They don't want to sell food out of it, I think.
That was Rocky's.
But they tell us, finance don't want to deal with that, with collect taxes and stuff. It's a headache. It's a burden on them trying to collect the sales tax stuff and selling burgers and hot dogs. We tried it
So
before.
we vending machines.
Vending machines, just,
Food trucks or?
I mean, outside, yeah, big food trucks, we promote food trucks like crazy.
But if we're brainstorming, these culinary classes, I mean,
Yes.
you know, I mean, if you just want to see what the community wants.
For
You're gonna see
Hashtag,
a, and you're gonna-
we have like a Instapot cooking feature that comes in and blows us. Like, I'm gonna use like different hallways to keep.
Dog park. I'm gonna
I
write
got
it
it for
down.
every time she heats some water, we have the fire department.
I don't have one of these. I heard these people that are.
It's
We can follow my dog, every time.
That's why I was like, fire
That's what's
department,
natural.
every corner.
Great fertilizer.
Yeah.
You ever do that when we were kids?
It depends on whose grass you're putting it in.
What?
It depends on whose grass you're putting it in.
It's grass, for God's
It's respect, Ray, respect.
Have we ever thought about maybe, providing some space, state-of-the-art space for study areas, like a quiet area for kids to go study,
That's
that has
actually
technology?
what we're looking at right now, the property that just got purchased, it's right across from the school. They're using that for youth studies and things of that nature.
I think it's needed, not everybody
It's
has
the old
to.
daycare. We're turning it into.
What's the land like around there?
Oh, it's flat. It's
Flat.
Oh, okay, I got
I was thinking maybe a mountain biking trail.
But you know how she
Yeah,
You cut a path through some woods, you make it wiggly.
there's
You
no
easy
way.
for us.
Matter of fact, the schools are on the property.
Love
That the only place you see trees is on the park, it surrounds the park.
it. Okay.
There is not a tree on that.
Okay.
Is that right? Now,
Okay.
and we're just doing mass grading on it.
Right, how about a water slide, like those tube style water slides?
Like a water park kind of thing?
Yeah, but they've got some that are, I mean, they're not, natural, shores kind of thing, but
Yeah.
they're,
Well, yeah, right now, nothing is outside the imagination. We're gonna talk about it all, and try and put it together, and then kind of take a vote before it's all said and done, as to what our priorities would be. And, but, I don't know.
Rachel, how do y'all feel about, I know you got racquetball courts, y'all hate them, don't you?
It's not that we hate them, it's just
They're not used.
everything has its lifespan. I guess, you know, so like racquetball.
How much, what do y'all get out of pickleball?
Like back in the, pickleball's a fad right now.
well, it's-
That's what I said 5 years
I
ago.
don't see it going anywhere.
Pickleball's the new racket.
Pickleball is in,
In the
you know,
eighties, everyone played
pickleball is
racquetball.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Jimmy Ford's on certain kind of racquetball, you should go racquetball.
Fine.
and you know, it's kind of why like people are like talking about anything else building pickleball.
Y'all were setting, I mean, Longview was setting solid, they wasn't.
I will say 5 years ago,
It was hot.
I said pickleball,
As long as it do.
It's-
5 years ago.
It's still gonna take.
It'll take you out of something with it, not.
I thought it would.
Whatever you do with it, I'm just saying, just make sure like you have like a 25, 30, because I mean, this building's forever. If you want it to, you know, you want it to last, you don't wanna have to go back and try to reinvent the wheel essentially, which is what the talk is for the rec ball court. Like, it's great right now. Nobody wants to go there because it echoes too much. How do
There's
you
nothing to
know?
do with it, yeah.
Yeah, so just, if you do
Keep
dedicate
going
a
up the court.
pickleball court, yeah, if you dedicate a pickleball court, just make sure whatever you do with it, you can.
You can change it back to a basketball court or a tennis court,
Yeah.
make sure the size is there.
Racquetball court to pickleball court.
It's 44 foot,
No, it's not big.
but 20 foot.
One-on-one, singles.
You might go turn in a volleyball court.
Well, they play volleyball in there. Do you have
Volleyball is at
volleyball?
Franklin, yes. Most of volleyball.
That's-
Is, volleyball, could it also be
It's in the-
like beach
in the
volleyball or
racquetball, so it never goes
outside?
up down.
I've got an education in that, and yes, we can do that.
That'd be a
But they can't use it for like the tournaments, and you can't use it for the competition. Because it's so completely separate between the two. Court sizes, net size, everything about it's different, so, but yeah, the answer is you can do volleyball
Y'all see
outside.
how popular it is to go. I I mean, have y'all ever just gone to the goat and seen all the times that beach volleyball is in it?
I like it after 9 o'clock when they're drunk. That is amazing to watch.
Well entertained.
I mean, it's like mega entertaining.
You know, we designed that, and I said, the same thing we were designing it. When y'all roll those garage doors open and the bar starts, you can see a lot of.
It ain't volleyball, it's, I'm gonna fall down balls, all it is. That's all it is.
No volley going on.
No, there ain't no volleying going on.
What about a 5K track around the outside? None of the
Do we
schools.
have room for that?
I don't know.
Problem.
I don't think you got that much distance, but
That's
No,
a
it's still
5K track, totally.
Do it twice, good. Like Mount Union High School track, they're, I know, around cross country, they could never host meets.
So what size track do you use? 5K?
5K. You know, I think the ones they went to were mostly places put up through the woods and, just,
one thing that we, and because we don't know exactly how it turned out, but you've got Lost Farm behind us, and that's all undeveloped at this point, so, you know, whatever they put back there, you can see, they have continuation of this trail system. There's stuff that you could, you know, when the time comes, control it. Same reason we punch that road out to the property line.
We're gonna push it at the front, now what do you think? Taking it all the way through.
Oh, we've already got a route picked, I just hadn't showed it to you.
Okay, you talking about all that? You don't know me? No. Okay.
Good question.
Hey,
Can I ask?
have a good. All right, anybody else?
A ballroom of some sort for line dance classes, dances,
What about, like,
wooden floor.
You could do like a dance studio and fitness room, all of ours are intercombined. But if you do that, I will say, please put a viewing room, just like a little offshoot.
you?
A viewing room for
Yes.
parents to sit in, because if you have little kid classes, that's a big, like you're
Wanna
not
watch.
watching, a lot of people know about that.
they
For
can't
a
see
long
it.
view, there's no viewing room for a dance studio. It's not that, you run background checks, you run to do, but yeah, it's just one of those. We have like gymnastics.
So what were you, sure, tell me what you were saying again.
I think it was popular at Del Webb, and they love the ballroom, they love dance classes, they love line dancing, they love parties, any type of area where you can have like a cultural festival or celebration of some sort.
I've been there since, I mean, anytime you're that age and you can party, you wanna do it.
They do, yeah, and
The ballroom and
and
dancing.
flooring matters to them. I mean, there's a certain floor that you need for dancing.
Again, we're throwing ideas.
Right now we've got, the middle parts, locker rooms, kind of a core in the middle between the pool and the basketball court. And we borrowed that concept from Jimmy Floyd, you know, they have the same thing. But I don't know how Rob planned the site, but if we went up 2 stories in that middle portion there, we could put a bunch of classrooms and dance studios and stuff in that middle part there. We gotta put an elevator in.
Yeah,
Gotta do that anyway.
But once we get that elevator in, then that whole second, there's probably a whole second floor in the middle part that we can work out. I didn't think about that. I don't know what that does to the parking for Rob.
Great use, meeting rooms.
I don't think, I mean, the party at this point, is not specified, but I would think we were gonna.
So you could go, I think going, because I don't know, going out gonna be economical really. Maybe the middle part's 2 stories if you gotta have an elevator there anyways. We have the stairs, they're at the ends of all the walking tracks and the thing, so we already have stairs already. Had an elevator, we could go 2 stories, I think.
I guess also be saying that the basketball game and the pool interconnect. You know, is it interconnected to the side where we, like you kind of mentioned, like motivation would be walking, but,
I was thinking,
With coaches.
yeah, and the only reason I ask that is because staffing, like, trying to think about like places like, you know, your front desk staff can only do so much, golf can only do so much. In the building, you can only do so much. And so who was gonna control the back and forth between the locker rooms and like, you know, if somebody, because your basketball group is a large demographic, you have kids that come in, some that are not so
Right.
great sometimes, and so like issues will arise, like how do you control that in between without it invading.
Yeah.
Obviously, the bathroom is a big-
Just curious, outdoor versus indoor, which one would you rather have first? If you had it.
I think outdoor you can get away with a lot less. You know, like you can say like the indoor space too, but then you're still building this building, like you need to have it, it'd be pointless not to do the indoor first and then add the outdoor.
If it comes outdoor, ain't it only good for about 3 months a year?
Pretty much.
Pretty much.
It's seasonal.
Yeah.
Indoor would be year round,
It'll
right?
be around.
So have y'all ever thought about putting like the, we call it the bubble?
No,
Don't do it.
no,
Don't yell at me,
no,
I'm scared.
no. No, Langford had that. It was
Put a
horrible.
bubble over it, don't hold it out there.
Ew.
Is it turned into a greenhouse?
I just had a question.
Oh, no, well, yeah, no, I mean, these, yeah, all the comments that come back from, you know, people using the bubble, because we even talked about the bubble in our pickleball courts. Yeah, it's such a hit of money that just goes into trying to keep it.
Right.
We had, the reason I asked is we had the conversation on valves, where we were talking about the practices. And that's the big, well,
And the money. Say, endless
Think I'm
amount-
gonna
go say
do
like
that.
endless
Yeah.
amount of money.
taxpayers' money.
Is it air
It's
quality
metro.
or what that you're dealing with?
Yeah, that's all.
Yeah.
What?
Anne Marie, why don't you like it?
No, I mean, because you.
But I don't
you
like
talk
it
about
for
bubble
swimming.
and
Langford Farm had that, and my kids swim there. And,
Um,
you couldn't even bring their towels in it for winter because everything was dripping wet and you could barely see the kids. They had to have extra high school kids, the little kids, just to make sure nobody because you can't see. So,
Why, what was the reason? You said Langford Farm?
Is it condensation?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. They wanted to put one up in Willoughby, and I was like, oh yeah, let us shoot it on.
From the road.
Well, surely there's been advances though.
Okay, this is a long time ago, but I.
Streamline.
You're saying no, it's not as loud now, right?
Okay, yeah.
Go to the old style.
It's just, you get down to a calm.
You scared, you startled, right?
Yeah, I get ready to climb from the chair.
I think putting a roof over the middle section doubles your square footage. Then you've got your cooking class, your dancing class, your arts classes. Doesn't encroach on the gym, doesn't encroach on the pool. Already got the footprint.
What kind of costs is involved in that?
Well, I think it's fairly economical to go 2 stories. I like saying you already got the footprint and stuff, but I hadn't thought of it, but the more people have been bringing, these rooms, I was kind of against it. I was thinking you'd have to increase the footprint, but if we just went up, we could put a bunch of rooms up there and it could be good sized rooms, probably just a single corridor down one side and just a bunch of larger rooms coming off of that.
I will say, go take a look at Bellevue, regional community center that was just built. They did a really good job of the footprint came up by the walking track inside, but the multi-purpose rooms that they did, the walls that they have, the way that they,
Yeah,
they're gonna be able to.
I don't do them right there, I recovered from last.
Hey guys, just to give y'all a little, I know you don't know the history of Mount Juliet Park right now. We got 3 other buildings coming on. So it's gonna be able, a lot of these buildings are gonna be able to handle some of the stuff y'all looking for. Like, we got the daycare that we're getting ready to bring on board. They can handle the meeting rooms, the art rooms and stuff like that. We're gonna have 4 multi-purpose rooms there. And we're getting ready to take over the PD, which is 16,000 square foot building, where we can have a ballroom and we can have.
And where's the senior citizens?
And with the senior center, gonna be a big flex building where we're merging with them. So the need for all this being one building is no longer there.
What's that?
Once you get that one from Excel, it's got to be.
We were told there weren't enough people
Anytime we
interested
like
in it.
host a swim meet, Excel
Who
always
told you?
needs a separate room to like hospitality room, so.
I mean, how long have I been getting?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm saying like to make it
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
completely.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's been probably 4 or 5 years that I've been pushing.
It's a nice contract.
Who's
It's very good, but.
Yeah.
Chairman of the board.
So what would you think about
President.
the record lot boards?
And like,
More storage.
Yes, we got 15 minutes, so, I don't want to keep you all longer than we really need, but, I think that's one of the good ideas. What happened?
Agriculture, like,
Agriculture?
beds of gardens and outside flowers.
What's that?
You talking about agriculture?
I say
Well,
put it in
the first thing we gotta put up there is $14 million. And I think with the pool and the basketball courts, you met $14 million.
because with the basketball court, you're gonna want the electric flooring.
Yeah.
But can people rent a bed in an agricultural type area where they can go grow their own?
We have one of those at Charlie Daniels right now, where you can get beds and we can put up agricultural stuff. It's our labor of love card down there. Talks about half acre.
Oh,
And
no.
extra gardeners are over right now,
And they
which they
donate?
would love, yeah. But where the public can come down and put them in, they ever mess in the garden. They would love to have you down there. That's been going for probably the last 10 years or so. It's very successful. But that's what I'm saying. There's a history here that we're not aware of, like the new buildings coming on and chances to put stuff in these new buildings. But I'm thinking the $14 million, not being 14.1, is what we're gonna get. And what the surveys, we've run surveys everywhere, guys. It's a pool. Pool, come on, we gotta have a pool. We need a pool. Then the next thing is, we've only got one basketball court in the city of Mount Juliet. It is overused. It is being used for everything. We need 2 more basketball courts. If we get 2 basketball courts in a pool, we just won. That's a win.
So anything beyond that?
Anything beyond that, cross the line. Yeah. And that's what we gotta realize, is $14 million. And
Well, okay,
we're gonna use that.
and I do want to explain something that you've got, as Rick, as Rocky just said, basketball, pool, right?
Yeah.
Inside of that building, you're gonna have to be able to put the walking track, because that's just gonna be part of the perimeter of the building. Pickleball goes along with basketball.
Yes.
Volleyball goes along with the basketball courts. So, I'm sitting here looking,
Like
climbing
the
wall.
walking trail will go along with the parking lot.
Some of this stuff, I still like the water slide.
I'm swimming for the Lady River.
I like that.
Oh, the laser is cool.
Yeah,
The ballroom dancing, we can put in another building we got. I understand. There's a.
so, I mean, some of these ideas that we've got will go into what we're talking about without having to do anything different than what we've got, the plan we've got. So what we're wanting to look at is what we can do in addition to, and what that cost might be. Is that a phase 2?
Yeah.
I mean, can we do another, do we want to do 2 pools at one time, or you want to do?
I think we do one pool, get it indoors, one we can use 365 and get that up and running, so we've got our lap pool and stuff that we can do. We can do our meets, our swim meets and stuff. And then phase 2 will be and add on to the pool. It's gotta be phase 2 with the second pool. And then I think we look at 2 more basketball courts, it's phase 3.
Okay, so here's my thought on this. The next thing we have, next Thursday, we're inviting the public to come in and talk.
Right.
Because I want this, what public input is we can get. I want them buying into this, because we've got commissioners that are needing to hear this.
I hear.
Now, what I hope to do is put all this input together, put it in a great big pot, and take this to the Parks Board.
Right.
And then, when it comes to memberships and money and things like that, that's when the Parks Board and you guys will take and put together a plan to bring to the city commission for us to actually vote on. Now, by the time we get there, we should have an idea of what the actual cost is for a building, and the actual cost is for the grounds and the parking and things like that.
Right.
Now, if it's $20 million, we know that a lot of that's gonna be taken off, because we're gonna get the mass grading done by the public works. We'll get them to work their tail end off and do some of this stuff in-house. We've got a lot of stuff to be done.
But it looks like you got a good group here. I mean, it looks like you got an intelligent group. I think you're
And
looking
that's
good.
what I was hoping to get. I got exactly what I was hoping we were gonna get, smart people. I didn't want dumb people.
Well, now that you
I don't
said
like
that,
that.
let me show you how wrong you are. There's one thing, I'm not, I just want to throw it out there, that this is supposed to be a whiteboard. So
Yes, sir.
Sure.
And I know you
Spitball
guys
right
have
there.
done a lot of work and everything else, but what you've got in there with that 50-yard meter pool,
Right.
that's a long form Olympic pool. There's a short form that's 25. Hear me out. So if you did a 25-meter yard pool, and that same footprint, then you could have, you know, it used to be called a kiddie pool, now it's, I think it's an activity pool.
No.
Wait a minute.
Let him talk,
A more of
Don't
a,
y'all know, he's
more of
here.
a water park kind of feely thing. Because, I mean, let's face it, we had one of these facilities in Little Rock, you know, very old, but indoor pool, had a 25-meter indoor, 25-meter outdoor, and then a little kiddie, entry kiddie pool, all that. You know, the number of people that come in to swim laps, Excel excluded, versus the folks that came in to play on the slides or do the bubblers or those kind of things, it's not even close. I mean, your average citizen is gonna wanna go, you know, play in the water, not, look, I'm a swimmer, that's the most boring damn thing you can do, other than run, is swim a lap, back and forth and touch the wall. But, you know, it's great exercise, but I'm just saying, you know, if you're gonna break it up and have to do 2 different phases, and there's gonna be some time before, I mean, these are things that, you know, probably easier to do outside, right? But, yeah, if it's gonna be a while, you might wanna think about maybe the trade-off of going to the short form pool and then have something else that is more accessible. So I'll now see, I told you, I proved you wrong, that I'm
I'd
done
love to
with
see
the
her,
rock.
I'd love
That's
to
what
see
we
her
do.
entry, you know, for not necessarily like a dedicated kiddie pool though. Most you might leave there that.
Yeah, here, the one issue I see with that,
They put a lot into our motion pool.
the problem that I see with that is that, first of all, when we build that pool, that indoor pool, it's all gonna be under roof. I don't even know how you would come back in and do an addition, say 25, and then add 25 to that when it's already under roof. I mean, that would be,
All the water would come out when you start adding on to it.
logistically, that would be nothing.
I'm saying all-
engineer.
I'll take it back. It's not your water.
I know.
I'll take back smart roof.
I'll take it back.
Sam just took
I gotta lower the bar here.
all the inside stuff would be phase 1. You know, it'd just be, I mean, it's true, that's a big pool.
And I see, it's a living size. Yes.
So that's 50.
But we don't have the appropriate seating or anything around it to.
It's a 6'9", right?
You mean,
Yeah, like, I mean, you're talking, yeah, so Excel comes in and they have at least like 300, 400 people every Saturday when they come in and they take over, and we have 3 sets of bleachers with
yeah, it's not.
3 rows.
Yeah, people are standing.
It gives our poor assistant, you know, aquatic director a heart attack every single time. She's like, I just kind of give up, you know, you just hope that everybody takes a step back whenever you say something. The fire marshals, they don't have an issue with it, but.
Yeah.
I will tell you, when I was looking at your picture a while ago, and they had the lower version of the seating, and you got the raised version of the seating, and I'm thinking, how long is it gonna take before some of Rocky's employees are jumping off of that top of end of the pool?
Ribbon cutting, I'd say, ribbon cutting.
Ribbon cutting,
Yeah,
yeah.
there you go.
Now, between phase 1 and phase 2, are those separate buildings? Or is that an extension of one footprint?
I think we could extend the building.
That would be the same question.
Phase 1 and phase 2 gyms, is that an extension of an existing freestanding building
Well,
that you build on next to it?
yeah, so the metal buildings are kind of designed to do that. The end bay, you can design it with a free span if you wanted to on that end, so when you expand, it's continuously open.
Okay.
Typically, the end bays have a bunch of columns there that you have to remove or fix or something, but,
Is it centered block up to a certain level and then
you
seal
can
up?
do some of that stuff like that. I was just in a gym, we did a gym in Gordonsville, I just looked at it yesterday, and they put corrugated metal panels on the inside of the abuse wall of that.
The what law?
Abuse wall,
Abuse. Okay.
I'm sorry.
They got programs for that too.
Let's see, hardware walls or something. Metal buildings typically have like puffy walls. You can go up and poke and put your finger through the insulation, you know, vinyl coated insulation. So to avoid that, you put an abuse wall.
Okay.
Sometimes it goes up to 10 feet. Elite Gymnastics that we did across the street from what we talked about, they have a gypsum board, abuse wall that goes up, and then above that's the insulation. So,
Never heard this term.
yeah, well, I'm sorry you had your.
Utilities and stuff? Utilities run through that?
Yeah, they, you know, the run of the wall and stuff. Yeah.
What's the time frame between phase one and phase two? As soon as you
A
go
lot
to
of
that
it
one
has-
gym,
Or like things like that.
Well, one of the things that we're gonna have to take into consideration is,
Control the movement of the crowd.
hold on a second.
Or just like even like having
I like
eyes,
everybody just.
being able to have eyes on that space. That's,
you're gonna do it.
Hey, guys, we got 5 minutes, y'all can, hey, Rod,
but I'm crazy.
we got 5 minutes, so let's
Okay.
go ahead. The question was, what are we gonna be looking at timeline between phase one and phase two? We don't know what phase one is yet.
Okay.
Without
I'm just
knowing
saying, as soon
that,
as you build that smaller gym, it's fine. Second, you build it, it's fine.
Well, there's two
With the
courts,
need.
there's two courts there.
Yeah. but I'm
We're
just
living
saying,
in one right now, so.
well, now my understanding is that, and what square footage are we talking about now? Because that's less than 50,000.
It's on the sheet there, real tiny letters, the phase one was 24,000 or something. Where's the?
Okay, $24,200 square foot, a whole lot less money.
So,
You may actually be able,
40, I'm sorry, 42,000.
how many?
42,000, about 43,000 feet. It's $8 million, something, almost $9 million, I'd say.
That's the interior footprint.
That's just a building.
That's 8 million, that's 8.6 is what it is.
Does anybody know what a pool costs? A limited shot pool?
The upkeep,
Oh, there's a lot.
the upkeep, we're gonna let Rocky, he's gonna propose a property tax increase.
That's what I'm getting ready to propose.
And that will not be supported by me.
But it's coming, it's gotta come, sooner or later.
I don't know anything about that.
There's gotta be a
Not
process.
gonna have this conversation. She was over there going, yeah, right. But she's been there around when we had this conversation.
Rocky, I bet the Del Webb Pool Committee would let you see the numbers of the upkeep. You just wanna go, and I can arrange that.
Okay.
You need to see the numbers.
Okay. Okay, mind blowing.
It's just, you know, things that you don't expect, happen all the
It's
time.
Murphy's Law, right?
All the time. Indoor, you're gonna be that kind of stuff. We need to be prepared.
Does anybody have any questions?
Who's next meeting?
Next Thursday.
And we have a district trip for that.
I'm hoping,
That's it.
yeah, next Thursday is gonna be at the table. And we're gonna put it, Justin Beaver's gonna be putting it all over the place for, to ask people to come in and actually ask questions and give us input and feedback so that, you know, we can formulate our report to the Parks.
I got one last question.
Yes.
Is there a law that requires storm shelters within your building? Is there anywhere in this project? There's a big storm
Usually
that
the
people
locker
can
room.
gather?
That's a great point, because my understanding is schools do hardened corridors, you know, concrete block with a steel deck and stuff. So if there was to go into that middle section there and get the corridors, probably be the safest place to go.
We're looking at it.
Yeah, just, you know.
We get FEMA to pay for it.
A lot of people there know the grant should have a micro in Kansas tornadoes for.
Yeah.
Well, they're here.
Oh, you
Thought about in the-
I grew up-
So that's what happened. You
Yeah.
came and you brought it,
I'm
thank
telling
you,
you.
appreciate it.
Hundreds.
I grew up in Madrid, and I was told if the storm comes, tornado hits, go jump over, hit the lake, because it won't go into the water after. I don't know if it's true or not, I never did it.
During the building process, you make hardened areas.
Okay, you guys, it is 7 o'clock,
Case of a weather emergency.
and I promise you don't want to go past 7 o'clock, so thank y'all for your time. And can everybody be there next Thursday to listen?
Yeah.
Hopefully, we'll have some of this,
Are you gonna bring up?
I'm gonna do the same thing, yes.
Get prepared for badminton,
What was it?
badminton. Tell it.
And
Everybody wants badminton, don't hold one.
Really?
Yeah.
Then we need horseshoes then.
Horseshoes, absolutely. We want to put the sand pits in the
Bocce
pool.
ball. Bocce. This could go on.
I know 4 people that want to play.
Well, I know badminton.